Friends, Brian here for Pontiac Strong, your private training facility, private gym in the Pontiac region, offering you the best personal training around. Sometimes I'll hear this from people when they say, hey, the problem is I want to get in better shape, but it's more expensive to eat healthy. This is a common argument that people will put up. It doesn't make sense to me because I think your health is your health. And if your quality of life is coming down or is drastically getting worse because of your lifestyle, what you're eating, and then we see a lot of people now, folks, we see it in society, a lot of people are having health issues, a lot of people are on more and more medications, their quality of life is really going down. A lot of us are sick. A lot of us are sick out there. Argument I'll give back is, well, number one, when I go to the grocery store, I tend to shop on the outer part of the grocery store, okay? Vegetables, $4.97. $1.44. You don't see it that cheap, so I'm going to grab a bunch of them. Great for just eating raw, or you can make a mash, low carb. $2.47 for a package. So this is $3.47. I like putting it in my eggs. I have my eggs, egg whites. But one of the things I'll say, just a token example, one of the things that people love to eat are chips and dip. The chips, right? Sitting in front, watching your Netflix, eating those chips. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing that once in a blue moon. The problem is when it becomes a habit and you're doing it a lot, but that's a story for another video. So I'll say to someone, say, okay, well, how much is a bag of chips right now? Okay. You name the brand. Let's say it's $4, okay, to get a bag of chips. Well, I can get a can of tuna for under $1. I like Chunk Light and water. One can, 97 cents. I'm going to grab 4 cans. And you know what? That's 30 grams of protein right there. Now, I'll say to someone saying, now, when you have your chips, let's keep it to the chips. What goes with the chips? Well, it's the dippy dip, my friends. It's the dippy dip. So now we're adding a few more dollars to get your dip, okay? And then on top of that, what do you have with that? Water? No. You're gonna have the poppy pop. So we got the chips with the dippy dip with the poppy pop, right? And then some people will take it a step further and then have their sweet after they have their salt, or they'll have their salt before they have their sweet, whatever floats your boat, my friends, okay? I go back to the groceries. I say, okay, well, you know, I can get some sweet potatoes. I can get some potatoes, very cheap. Potatoes look good. You know, for a little snack, especially post-workout, if you have a potato with, for me, lactose-free cottage cheese. I'm going through a lot of the 1% cottage cheese. I want to make sure it's 1%, less calories, less fat, but it's a good source of protein and nice on a potato. I can get some rice, basmati, jasmine, whatever. Brown rice, very cheap for a bag. I can actually get a big bag of basmati rice for 15 or 20 bucks, but that will last me for months, my friends, okay, months. I can get a bag of coleslaw for a couple of bucks. That's going to be at least a side for at least 4 meals for me. Chicken, if I get some chicken, okay? So let's say I get $20 worth of chicken breasts. Let's say I get 6 chicken breasts for that, okay? $20. Each chicken breast, let's say it's about 20 grams of protein. So for me, that is 6 protein meals for 20 bucks. If I get some salmon, if I got a nice big piece of salmon for 15 bucks, that might be 2 meals right there. If I get a container of egg whites, they're $7.97. It's probably about $9 now, but that's about 4 protein meals for me. A carton of eggs, how many bucks is that? Okay, how many meals is that? This argument, for me, it doesn't really hold water. Yes, when you get into some of the lean meats, you get into some steaks, stuff like that, yeah, it can be a little bit more expensive. But we're talking about your health, folks. We're talking about the quality of your life. You know what I see other people spending a lot of their money on that is not good for them? But none my business, my friends. None my business. But this is a common argument I hear, and to me, it just doesn't hold water. I think you can still, even if you're on a tight budget, you can still eat pretty healthy. You know, when you see a family out at a restaurant having some pizza or something, or going out multiple times to eat, a family of 5 getting food at a restaurant, how much is that going to come to? That's just me. But again, Brian here for Pontiac Strong, your private training facility, your private gym here in the Pontiac region, providing to you the best service and the best personal training. Follow us on our Facebook page. If you want to subscribe to our channel, we appreciate all the support, and we will catch you next time.